Recently, we had a subscriber ask if I could show a scalping strategy, and that's what we're about to do now. I took a scalp today, and what scalping is trading that focuses on profiting from just a small price change within a brief period. And so you might decide that you'll take 2 or 3 trades instead of just your usual one for that day. But generally, what you want to keep in mind is that you're using your same strategy. Some people use a 1-minute time frame for scalping, some use 5, some people even use the seconds or the ticks. And I'm going to show you an example of scalping on the 5-minute. Okay, and so as you can see here, we're on the 5-minute time frame for NAS. And what we've done is marked our supply area. So there's an area where price has moved down fairly aggressively. You can see those 3 black bars. And what we've done is set an alert so that we came back when the alert went off, when price went back into the supply zone. And so now we're waiting for a sell signal. So remember that once price does come back to the zone, that's not your signal to get in. We've still got to wait for a signal that lets us know it's time to execute the trade. And so now we're waiting. Okay, and then I noticed that a hammer is starting to form, that the hammer is forming, and it looks like it's pushing away from that lower EMA line. And I also take a look at the countdown clock, and I notice that there are only a couple of seconds left. And so that looks like a good signal and a good time to enter. And so now let's look at the live trade. Okay, we're on the 1-minute time frame here, and we're waiting for price to go lower, and we're about to set the stop loss and TP. And I've set the TP, or the take profit, to about the middle of that imbalance below. And as soon as price leaves the zone, we will move our stop loss to break even. Okay, and then I go back to the trading view chart to take a look. It's easier for me to see, and I can keep an eye on whether price is staying below that EMA and staying within our supply zone. Okay, and now we can see that price has left the zone, so we know that it's okay to move our stop loss down to break even, or at least far enough to cover the commission. Okay, I moved my stop loss to break even just to cover the commission, and we'll see if we can get down to this fair value gap, this little gap right in here. I'm about halfway. Good trade. Okay, let's review our setup. On the 15-minute time frame, I had a break and retest of this area. I had a break, a retest, and we expected it to continue downward. If we look on the 5-minute time frame, we can see that we're below the 20 and the 50 and the 200. Price broke to the downside, and we had a break and retest of this supply area. And price got down here to this level of support. We expected price to return to this area of supply and then continue downward. And so after returning to supply, we waited for a sell signal. We saw a hammer, which is a pretty good sell signal, pointing to the downside. And we also noticed that we bounced off of this EMA here. And we also, and even though price did go up a little bit, we noticed that there is an area right in here, like a little gap. We can make that a gap fill. That little imbalance. So price did take care of that imbalance and then started downward. And we just had to be patient and wait. And I decided to just take it down to this area, down to this imbalance in here, and just try to get halfway just in case it bounced back. And that was our trade. Okay. We followed our rules and had a successful scalp on NAS. And now the key is to shut it down. You're done for the day. You've had your win and you'll come back tomorrow. Discipline. And you'll also notice in here, we can talk a little bit about sticking with one strategy. We had our break and retest of the 15-minute trend line, and we saw some other strategies that we use along the way. So for instance, we could have considered this a 3-bar reversal. Here's our first bar, our second bar, and our third bar. So we could have decided that, oh, it's a 3-bar reversal. I think I'll take it up. You know, there's so many thoughts that come through your mind as you're trading. You could have said, oh my gosh, this is a huge green bullish bar. I'm going to go up with it. You've got to stick with your original plan. If you think about all the strategies that you've ever known while you're trading and decide to take each one, then that's how you get chopped up. And so that's why it's important to decide on one strategy, look for your setup, and only trade that single strategy. Thinking that you know all these strategies and you can try each one, you know, as you're trading, seems logical, but it's actually a faulty idea. So just stick with the research. Research shows that sticking with one strategy and adding little by little to your account balance is what works. Be sure to share our strategy and our trades and our channel with others if this is helping you, or if you know someone else who would like to learn to trade. We'd like for our channel to grow. We would love to have 500 subscribers by the end of January. And if you can help us do that and be sure to subscribe, that would be awesome. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.